Hello and good evening. Welcome to the Speak Life podcast. My name is Cherie and I am your host for today's podcast. I hope you're ready to enjoy some inspirational stories from people who you would never hear from normally. Our guest today is Keisha Spellman, and Keisha will introduce herself and tell you all about what has gone on in her life and how she had to overcome obstacles, just like we all do. I myself have had to overcome some things, but we'll talk about me later. Right now, let's get to my special guest, Miss Keisha Spellman. Welcome, Miss Spellman. Hello? Miss Keisha.
Hey, Miss Cherie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So glad you could join us.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I was telling our audience all about you, and, well, not all about you, but go ahead and give an introduction.
Oh, well, my name is Keisha Spellman. I'm a 44-year-old mother of 5. I am a proud business owner of a behavioral health residential facility, and I love working for the people in various communities, and I'm happy to be here talking with you guys today.
I hear the children. I hear the mothering.
Oh, absolutely. That never stops, Miss Cherie.
Yes. So, Miss Keisha, can you tell us a little bit about your earlier career? I'm so excited to hear about it.
Yes. I was raised in a single-parent household, and I grew up. It's kind of weird because I grew up loving sports, playing sports, and our mother, she really didn't know too much about sports, but she was definitely committed to getting me into things that would consume my time and that would just give me a set of skills that no one really in the community as women kind of possessed, because no one really played sports. They did a lot of various other things. So I grew up playing all types of sports. I excelled in badminton. I excelled in basketball, volleyball, and track. But basketball was really my first love and passion, and that's kind of what I went with. So, basketball has taken me all around the world. I played basketball at every level of the game. I graduated from ASU, Arizona State University, Forks Up, but, let's see, it's taken me to Australia, it's taken me to Norway, it's taken me to Mexico, playing on professional teams. In 2000, I ended my career. I had went out as a free agent during a training camp with the Phoenix Mercury, and had made the last cut right before I injured my knee. And at that time, it was a decision. It was either, have the surgery and keep playing, or kind of get into something else. So I elected, after, being hurt the last probably 4 or 5 years of my career, to go veer off into the human services field and education. And I applied for a charter school. Excuse me. And I was awarded a charter school in 2002. So from 2002 until 2010, I owned and operated my charter school, and I am the youngest black charter holder in America. At 25, I actually, now I don't know now, but I know at that time, 25 was very, very young to, own and operate a school. And but I did it, and that's kind of where my it kind of went into my human services, because a lot of my kids, being that I was a Title I school, a lot of my kids were getting displaced because CPS was coming in and for whatever reason removing children from their home, and a lot of times they would come to the school, and it was a pretty traumatic experience for me. So me and my husband at the time wanted to do something to help the kids, so we started being foster parents. Mm-hmm. And then from the foster parenting, we went into owning a group home. And at that time, we did it with no pay. We did it just for free. And they were just kids that had been displaced at my school. And then after that, it kind of phased into I'm doing it, as a business. And then I got into the behavioral health services part of it about four years ago. And that's where I've been ever since. And, I absolutely love it. I've serviced, hundreds of children. A lot of them I still keep in contact with. Some will come visit, some will bring their kids. When they've graduated, I've been invited to the graduation. They're extended part of my family, so, and that's just what I enjoy, and that's what I'm gonna do, from here on out. I'm dedicated to it. I think it's in my DNA.
So tell us more about the transition from here you are playing all over Europe, all over the United States, up with the WNBA team. Tell us about that transition. How did that feel for you in the beginning, having to make that decision? As you said, you had to make a decision. So how did that feel for you?
The decision was the decision in itself was one that I made with a lot of thought to it, and it kind of crushed my whole kind of world, because I've been playing, I had been playing basketball ever since I was in the third grade. I mean, I played the other sports because I just excelled at sports, period. And because, I'm just tenacious when it comes to, I'm going to learn a sport, I'm going to excel at it, or I'm not going to do it at all. But basketball was a passion. It was a love. And when I made the decision to walk away from it, it was a very, very hard decision, because a lot of my friends that I have grown up with were still playing. Mm-hmm. And it was hard to watch. There was a period of time, about 4 years, that I just couldn't watch the WNBA. I didn't watch WNBA. I didn't watch college basketball. I just didn't really keep up with sports, period. And that was just because there was a void, and it was like a longing for that sport that I had grown to. It was like my best friend. Mm-hmm. So the transition was pretty hard. It was pretty hard, but it was one that was necessary. There's a lot of things that go on behind closed doors that people don't understand in professional sports, and especially when you get up into the women professional sports. There's a sisterhood that I just didn't, because of my lifestyle, I didn't belong to that sisterhood, and it's kind of sometimes hard to break those barriers if you're not affiliated with with what they consider as the norm. So, it had come to a point in time where, the love there was a split, and I had to choose what was best for me, what was a good platform for me, and to still help people, but help them just in a different way. I always did a lot of the camps, or would come back into the community and do things in the community for the kids that would watch me on TV and stuff like that. So getting involved in a school just helped me to serve a lot of children, but just in a different capacity.
So you had to take your pain
absolutely.
And create a whole new passion, which was probably your intended passion from begin with, your intended path.
Yeah.
But tell us also, okay, so you have children. Do any of them play sports?
All of them play sports. The babies don't. I have 24, 16, 15, 3, and 1. The 3-year-old and the 1-year-old, they think they play sports. But the other boys, they have excelled in sports. My older son, before he kind of decided and took a different path from basketball, he used to be ranked 14th in the nation.
Wow.
He played at a very, very high level for a while. It was kind of, for me, disappointing, when he chose to go into engineering and, started a family, and now, he kind of moved away. But, I respected and I understood it. And, sometimes that glitz and glamour that people think is not all what it's cracked up to be. And behind closed doors, it's something completely different. He just didn't want to have to deal with the bureaucracy and all of the stuff, the politics and all that, stuff.
So what would you say to our listeners about, going through something like that, making such a transition?
I would just say that just to make sure that, before you do anything, first and foremost, you pray, about it. You're not impulsive, with any type of life-changing decision. But, at the end of the day, of course, my family was very disappointed when I walked away from basketball, because they too were, used to the glitz and the people coming up to get my autograph, and, I'm on TV and people are calling from all over the world, but they don't understand what, again, is behind the scenes. So you can't appease everyone. You have to appease yourself. And, if you stay grounded and you stay close to God, he'll see things through, and he'll make a way when it doesn't seem to be any way. So yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Miss Keisha, for stopping by. We really appreciate it. You are our very first guest on the Speak Life podcast. So,
oh my gosh, I'm honored.
And we hope that you can come back again and grace our presence.
Please, anytime.
Okay. So,
thank you so much.
So at this time, everyone, we'd like to say, speak life into your situation. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And you all have a wonderful night. And remember to speak life.